Okay. It's pretty good. Warm-up lap time. At least compared to other ones. Seems like we still have room to grow. Especially if we crash into walls like that. Oh. Oh, we get it. Need to wake up. Need to get back in the zone. Because it is too early and I did not sleep well last night. That's not the way to go. Okay. Seems like we've still got room to grow on the practice course, but we got 10 weeks to do it. Or now I guess 8 more weeks to do it. So we'll get there. We'll get there. Oh, look at those sponsors. Little rectangles. Okay. So we are in a volcano. Or something. Khoplos. Khoplos. Something. And it is 75 degrees Celsius, which is like 160 degrees Fahrenheit or something like that. I think I looked it up, because I only speak in freedom units. Okay, well that's a turn that we're not gonna not want to mess up, or else your car flips. That's not what we want to happen during this race. So we'll have to remember that. It goes this one right here. Yeah, just stay low. Should all be good. But yeah, this is a tough course by the looks of it. Seems like there's a lot of places where you can crash and or flip. So hopefully we can finish this race today. Not make any dumb mistakes. I think that was the pit. Yeah, that's the pit. a mod for this? Okay, so if you slide there, you kind of go a bit higher on that, so you kind of have to be aware of that. This turn is tight, and that turn was also tight apparently. You see a checkpoint on the left and you're like, oh, I better go there, but it goes all the way around, so. Yikes. Okay, so that's a thing. Do a slide there or not. I definitely don't want to do a slide here. I definitely want to turn sooner there. So now we stay right the whole time. You could drive on that side of the road red, white stripes thing, but I don't know. Something to turn sooner. Same thing with here. I need to do something because that sets me up at the wrong place. I mean, if we do slow and steady like this, we definitely won't crash, but the word there was slow. Okay, what if we go wide and try to go in? I still had to release, but that definitely gave me more speed than I had before. We go around like, that wasn't much better. Got potential for a 58. Okay. I mean, I'm not really drifting anywhere. Ignore that. Ignore that. I tried to save it and then messed it up even worse, so ignore that. Is there a mod? Can't tell. It was supposed to be or not. I think I want to drift that just because that wall scares me. I think this is all driftable. I don't think it needs to be. This is not. That might be driftable. This one's definitely driftable. If you do that before. And I don't know. Do we just drift the end to set up better for this? Because that like gets you much straighter. Like that seems better. But then it comes down to, well, how much fuel and tire am I using per lap? Now we got 52 laps to do. That must be a drift. That was not meant to be a drift. drift. There it is. There it is. Look at that. Look at that 55.5 potential. That's what we want. I was looking down at my tires. So that was 2 laps. We're using about like 8 or 9% of each per lap. So that's what, 11 laps? Well, it doesn't get me anything. That needs to be a drift. I know. Laps. Well, okay, we'll do the other way around because that math is not working out in my head for some reason. So for 52 laps, that is going to be into 4 is 13. I don't think we can do 13 laps stints because that is 13 to 100 is like, that's under 8. It's like 7.8 or something like that. And that is not something that seems to be possible. Just on fuel alone. Because let's see, we're going to finish lap 4. So at 4 laps, if you were to do 8, you'd have spent 32. Well, under 8. We basically just, we spent like 31 liters of fuel for that. So that means no mistakes. That means you're also doing 8 per lap, which, like I said, I think it's like 7.8 or something. So that probably is not even enough still. So, okay, so instead of 52, we do 52.5, so we do 10s with an 11 or 2. Whoops. Maybe that should be a drift. One of these is definitely a drift. It's just which wall do you want to crash into for the one you don't do the drift of. Alright, well, if we do 10 laps, stints, 10 lappers, then that gives you a nice 10% of fuel and tire to work with, which means I can drift more if I wanted to use up my quota. As we learned last week, sometimes it's not always the best to use up your tire quota because it makes you crash a lot more when you're on like red tires. I knew that. I forgot how hard it is to drive on the red tires, especially when how twisty and turny the map was last week. But let me do another lap. Then I want to go into the pit and just start fresh and see kind of how the strat will work if I go full out, kind of like I'm doing right now, even drifting when I even don't need to. One thing I didn't do was look at any percentages before this lap started, so get me an okay time. Well, it's not going to get me an okay time because I'm going to finish the pit. Alright, where's the pit start? Okay, so you've got a ways to go before you hit the 130. And I want to stop right here. Alright. Let me actually check one that it's 52 laps, because that's an important thing to know. 52 laps. No, no, no. Okay, 52 laps. If we do four stops, then that's 13. Or no. That'd be 3 stops. Yeah, if you do 5 stops, then those are like 8 or 9s. Which I don't think changes that much. I don't know. This is gonna be like last week all over again. I'm feeling. But you do 11. Ooh. So then you have to do 9%. You can only do 9% per lap. So let's try an all-out lap. Or let's just try to do all out for the next few laps. For the next next 2 minutes. And so I started on lap 8. So we'll just do all math based off of how many laps we've done past lap 8. So lap 9 we'll have done 1 lap. That'd be really nice. I hadn't done that. Okay, so that was not even 9% fuel or tire. So that's cool. And that was me drifting also more than I should have. So like we will get into single digit tires if we do the exact same drift plan for everything, but like this here doesn't need to be a drift. This doesn't need to be a drift, but I'm going to do it just for the time purposes right now. And then I think you can also drift, you don't need to drift this part, but it definitely helps a lot more, so. Like, we can take it easy. So, yeah, I guess we'll just take it easy, because I guess I had been subconsciously doing that. So if I do like a minimal, like I'm still going to drift this. Just because I want to. But everything else doesn't need to be drifted. Even this part right here, if you can, you have to release a bit, but then you have to drift this. So maybe it's, I don't know. And then I'm going to drift the end just because we're on a good time. But yeah, I don't know. If I hold the drift for just, you know, a bit longer, or I get an auto side like that, like, my tires and fuel are pretty much even. Oh, and if I do something like that, which isn't great. Is he like a second or so? Okay. What'll this be? This will be 4 laps after I finish. Saturday, after we said 9, when it shows 9, we've done 1 lap. So we've done 5 laps. Math is hard. I think we've done 5 laps. 5 times 9, 45. Have we done 5 laps? I really hope we've only done 4 laps, actually. Because when it shows 9, okay, yeah, I think we've only done 4 laps. So that's 36. So I think we had like a 4 liter, 4% surplus with that. Which is good. And so when we cross here, the finish line here, we should be at 55. Wait. Oh, maybe we're not doing well on the fuel. I don't know, maybe we just do the 8 laps strat, 8-9 lap strat. Just to play it safe. 1 extra pit stop is, 40 seconds or whatever. It is a bit longer pit, but with how I think some of these turns are going to get, I think we just play it safe and keep our tires topped off. I think it can be done. I just don't think it can be done by me today and here and now. Just because I'm so tired. Okay, well. Alright, so what would 5 be? So you've got to do 8, or let's say 9, 9, 9, 9, 8, 8. So 4 9s and 2 8s. 4 9s and 2 8s. 4 9s and 2 8s. Yeah, I mean, it's not the worst. I think we'll do it. I think we'll do the 5 stops. Oh, hey. Mitch said hey, so I'll say hey back. USA, USA, USA. I think I'm like 3rd or 4th Americans. I think Neil is in Div 1 at like 47th. I think there might be someone ahead of us, and then I think it's Mitch and I in Div 6. I think someone was in Div 4 or something. I can't remember. I don't know. The things, the divs shook up too much last week, so I don't know. But Alright, well let's get an absolute banger of a qualifying time. Like we did last week, we got some cheeky 4 bonus points because we got like 13th place or something during the qualifier. So hopefully we can reproduce that on this week's map. But tire and fuel are not going to be an issue in the qualifier, so we will just drift everything. We will try to take the best lines we can. Well, we won't drift everything. We'll drift if there's an advantage to be had. I put it that way. Okay, well, here we go. Flying lap time, let's go. Nope. Not happening. Not happening. We still had an okay time the first lap, but it's definitely not going to be a good one because the flying lap gets you so much more time because of the speed you get off of the start or the previous lap. Like, yeah, it was that was something. We're not even on this page. I think I did what, a 102, which is just terrible. Yeah. Yeah, I was like, that wouldn't surprise me if I'm last. Or near last. How'd Mitch do? 20th? Not bad. Alright, who's in here that was in here last time? Sogeki? Sogeki? Everyone who pronounce it. We were fighting last week. I think they beat me at the end. So I think I crashed, but like they were fighting me. They were like between me and last place, and then I got last place or something. So let's try to do better than that. So we will start with a bit of a deficit. In second to last place. But, you know, when you compare where we start and where we finish, oh, that number is going to go up. It better not go down. Better not stay the same. It has to go up. It has to go up. But, nah, it's good. 52.7. I think what was my potential? It ended up being like a 54.9 something maybe. I don't know. It was low 55 or high 54. So, you know, even if I did my best time, yeah, I might have gotten like a point or two. Hey, there's our sponsors. But all right, one more warm up of like 3 minutes. I'm kind of more awake now. You know, something about driving into a wall head first at 300 kilometers per hour kind of jolts you a bit. So that's good. But I'm still tired. I'm still very tired. Did not sleep well last night, unfortunately. But yeah, it'll be an interesting race. There's definitely punishing parts. There's places where you can definitely flip It's just going to be avoiding those. And if I see that I'm going to head into one of them, do I have the reaction time to stop it from happening? Well, hopefully we don't get into those situations. But also, like, if I do require reaction time to stop me from doing a flip, well, we might be in trouble. I might not have the best reaction at the moment. That's a 1 minute. That's better than my qualifying time. Let's just try to save face in the warm-up. Let's see what time I can get right now, since I've already made it past the point where I crashed. Okay, and so we are doing 8 or 9 laps stints. So like you can use, 11%. Ooh, not close. 11% fuel and tire like per lap. So like, feel free to let loose, I guess, on the drifts if you think they can save time. Okay, well that was a 55. That would have been like, I think like 17th or something, 15th. It wouldn't have been enough points, but it would have been like just outside of it, I think. Would have beaten Mitch. Oh boy. Okay. I've unbounded my give up key, so that's a good thing. Ugh. Whew. 52 laps of high octane entertainment are starting after this warm up, and then after like another 10-second warm up, I think. Or we're just gonna start. I don't know. I can't remember. Okay, yeah, another 15 seconds, and then we'll actually start. But yeah, you can see how far back we're starting. Right there. I'll turn on cars just for the start, so you can really see. Here's where we start. So we've got ways to go. But we can make it work. So I've already forgotten how to drive. Yeah, keep an eye on that number on the back of my car. You should see it hopefully quickly drop, or get closer to 1, I meant, as we go throughout the laps. Because I've definitely got the potential. If everyone drove their perfect lap, every single lap, I would end up, 15-20 range probably. So that is where I would like to end up. Of course, it's not as simple as that, because mistakes happen. You crash headfirst into walls, you lose focus, you do different pit strats, you crash, I would like top 15 this race. I think that's possible. I think that's doable. It's just we have to focus and, do it. I'd be happy with top 20 though, let me put it that way. 15 is the goal, 20 is the maybe realistic dream. Trying to do math in my head. Yeah, so 78 right now would be our cap for 11%. So yeah, we're probably not even going to really worry about tire and fuel this race, just because we are doing like the safe long pit strat. That doesn't mean we don't need to keep an eye on it, because once we do get below, you know, a certain percent, we start getting on the yellow and red tires, which we'll need to account for with the low turning radius, the more time to drift, etc. So we still need to be aware of it, but it will not cause us to lose the race with a blown tire or out of fuel. That's what I guess I'm trying to say. Still a pretty close race. I think there's a lot of people right here in this little gap. Hey, cheeky PB. Okay, and we are currently sitting at the 27th fastest lap. Well, it was 27 when I last looked. Now we're 30th, even with the 55. So clearly, this might be a tough race. It's all going to come down to hopefully consistency then, if we all have similar fastest lap times. Someone's out. So we're guaranteed to not do worse than our placement, our qualifying placement, because we were already second last, so we can either tie or improve. Yikes, okay. I kind of got an awkward drift, auto drift off of that downhill. I almost ran into that checkpoint. Alright, thrown off my groove a bit, but nothing we can readjust from. So this is the end of lap 6, so we have another 3 laps to go before we go in at 9. So it looks like we will have a lap or two kind of on red tires. Excuse me. We do have the yellow tires at the moment. Whoops. That was a bad place to start a drift. Which isn't impacting me too much, but it is starting to become noticeable. So I just need to adjust using that knowledge. So we've hit 40%. So you can kind of feel it as you're doing these turns now. But yeah, so we've got 2 laps on these tires then. They're going to get slightly worse. Yikes. I always do that. I always think I'm going to hit the wall, and so then I correct what I think I need to correct after I hit the wall, but then I don't hit the wall, so I just correct myself into the wall. Because I think I'm going to bounce off it, so I need to auto-adjust off the bounce, but then the bounce doesn't happen, so it's basically just like I run to the wall and actually then get the bounce. But okay, a bit of a slower lap, but that is just known because of the tires situation. So we'll go on at the end of this one. Because we have to do, what was it, 4 9s and 2 8s? You know, I think we probably might get lapped. At least once. Maybe only once, if I think about it. So we might do 3 9s and 3 8s, but we still have to do some amount of 9s. So we might take a look. Okay, pit. Okay, so it's all the way back here, and then make sure you're under 130. Because I did actually get the penalty last week as well, which I think is like the first time that I had ever done that. But okay, not a bad first stint. If we can keep that up. It looks like some people are doing the 4-stop strat because I dropped, 10 places or so. So we should catch up to them. They should go in at the end of 12, I think. It was 11 or 12, I can't remember. Hey, Zippity, how you doing? Good morning. Yeah, it's okay. So yeah, a few people were pitting there. So we jumped up to 23rd again. So yeah, we're kind of around here. I am doing more, or one. Yeah. I'm doing one more pit than those people are. Okay, that was close. This has not been the best lap. But you know what? We haven't flipped the car. So it's a good lap. Hey, thanks. I'm hoping, I don't know if you caught last week's, but last week's there were a lot of wall hits and crashes kind of near the end, and I think I ended up getting like second to last of the people who finished, which was like 33rd or something like that, so hopefully this time around we don't falter near the end. But this seems to be going well so far. Just a lot of tight corners. Let's see if we can PB. Maybe not with that turn at the end there. But maybe. Oh, okay. Yeah, a little bit. Cool. And then, tale as old as time, we crash right after. that 0.2 second gain was worth a 2-second crash. I think that evens out. But nah, we still got this. Although I totally saw the other checkpoint and was like, oh, I need to go left. Forgetting the map again. Alright, so I will go in at the end of 18. I've got a few more laps to do out on here. Tried to release that turn, but just barely scraped the wall at the end there. But we're holding steady. So that's the important thing. Oh, Mitch is in third. I was like, I wonder where Mitch is. And then I see that they're in third right now. So that's pretty good for them. They might pass me this race then, in terms of league points. If they haven't already, I can't remember. Mitch is a fellow person from the US of A. So, you know, we have a banter. We said good luck to each other at the beginning of the race. So, you know, we have a history. Don't brag. Forgot the drift. I was like, man, I'm going really fast. Man, that wall is coming at me fast. Oh crap, I should have drifted. That was my thought process. In about that same time frame, so you know. I drifted way too late. Alright, so Rip is doing the 8 laps pits right now. Why am I looking away? Oh, this uphill. 8 lap pits. So they'll do the 9s later, which I guess is fine if you're just aware of it. We will go not at the end of this one, but the end of next one. We are getting onto the red tires, so just make a note of that and take these last few turns a bit nicer maybe. You can, yes, you can interpret nicer as slower if you wish to, but it works. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't do the 4-stop strat. I think I would have cost more than, you know, the 40 seconds to do the extra pit if I'd stayed out and tried to race like an extra 4 laps or whatever on these tires. just because I think once it really gets down into like sub 20% is really when it starts to impact your driving and you make a lot more crashes, which is what happened last week. But box. Oh, I needed a blink. Oh boy. Alright. It's his 11th. Okay, so we fall back down to 29th because of people who are doing the 4-lap strat. But as of right now, like the people who are doing the 4-lap strat and people like myself who are doing the 5 not lap, pit strat, everyone still has the same amount of pit stops to do. So this is kind of where it is in terms of the standings, at least for that. I think last time though, after I came out, I was like 31st or 33rd. So we're at least improving in that regards, but you know, that just might be because people are giving up as someone else gives up. But it is a tough course. It is a tough course. Whoop. Don't know what I was doing there, but we corrected it. We'll be a bit slower for this part, but we didn't hit any walls, so apparently actually we're faster for that part. Who knew? Just a little awkward jitter then. Didn't cost too much. Alright. So let's see. Those guys will pit. I don't think they're gonna pit now. Some are. But I think they pit at 22, which should be at the end of this lap for them because they are a lap ahead. But so right now we're not even halfway through the race. We've been lapped once. If they remain lapped after they come out of the pit, which if they're going to the pit now is still likely, then we're probably going to be lapped twice, which means instead of doing 4 9s and 2 8s, we're actually going to do 2 9s and 4 8s, which means we've already done our 2 9s. So I think we just do 8s for the rest of the race. Because yeah, they're coming out now. They are a lap ahead still. Or one person is, at least. But either way, I think we can do all 8s from here on out. And if the last one is a 9, then who cares? That's what we did the first 2 stints anyway, so it's not like we need to preserve fuel, I guess. Well, I guess it'll depend on how much we want to fuel up at the last pit stop, but we'll have a much clearer picture by then, I guess. Okay, so I think we're doing 8s. 8 laps for the next, just for the rest of the whole race. So we went at 18, so the next one will be at the end of 26. Right? That's 18 plus 8. Math. Because we'll do 26, 32. No. 34. 34, 42, and then 50. And then there are 52 laps, but we will probably have been lapped twice by that point, so we only need to do 50 laps. So yeah, that checks out. Math checks out. So now it's just, you know, doing it. So what did I say, 26, 26, 26, 34, 42, 50. Well, we don't pit at 50, obviously, but that'll be when the race ends. So 26, so end of 2 laps from now. And it'll be a bit nicer, because we'll do one less lap on red tires. So I can really also just kind of let loose like I have been now and drift pretty much everything that I want to. And maybe even some things that I don't want to, just because there's no rules. If my tires are not going to explode. Alright, so Ripfish is still doing 8s. So they will have to do their 9s at some point. But I guess they'll do them at the end, just when they know for certain which ones need to be, I guess, not to overdo it. But, okay, so we are at 40% tires now. So we're going to do about a lap and a half, kind of on these tires. Not even a half a lap, I guess. So one more lap on this, and then we pit. Not too worried about that. Cheeky shortcut that got me nowhere. We're sitting at provisionally 20th, but we still have an extra pit to do, so it's really just going to be kind of how much do we continue to drop during that pit stop. And how much, that was close, how much are people doing the other lap strat, the other pit strat, going to crash and go slower due to their low tires and whatnot. But not us, because we are going in to the pit. So we are doing a bit of an unorthodox pit strat now because we've done 9.98 when we're supposed to be doing 4.9s. But I think I've realized that we'll get lapped twice, and I don't know if other people have realized that yet, so they might end up doing like an awkward like 9-7 stint because of that. Because we realized that we were going to get lapped, we were able to move that 9 to the 7 and just do flat 8s. So, all in all, that probably only saves about like 5 seconds, because it just means you're driving one less lap on the bad tires, which if all goes like it has been, that's probably like a 4 or 5 second deficit. But you know, 4 or 5 seconds, like even after 52 laps or whatever, like it adds up. Like, don't knock it. That can get you like a few places, or at least like a place or two. Because like, you know, let's just take a look at the side. Like 5 seconds ahead is at least 21st, when I'm in 24th right now. So that's how close this race can get, even after we've all been doing this for, you know, an hour or whatever. Hasn't been an hour yet, but it probably will be at some point. But yeah, we're past halfway point. I guess that happened before we pitted, since we're only going to do 50 laps, but we're only halfway. I think a few people might pit now. Maybe they pitted last lap. I think it was last lap they pitted. I just need to turn like so slightly sooner. Because that turn's almost perfect, if not just for the tiny scrape at the wall at the end. I keep thinking that I don't need to drift that turn, but I totally do. It's this turn that I don't need to drift. And that's the kind of chicane that I want to be doing on that turn. Look at this, we're zooming. We are zooming. We're zooming. And we need to drift that turn. Especially if we're zooming. Alright, I mean we were zooming, but like we're still the 28th fastest lap, so you know. Everyone's just zooming that much faster. But more people are pitting, so we are 17th place. So I don't know, 15th might be out of reach. Top 15 might be out of reach, but I think top 20 is still in the cards. Even though we have an extra pit still to do, I think I can make up that time just elsewhere, out on the course. But okay, so a lot of people are going to pit right now. So we're going to jump up. We go in at 34. So not at the end of this one. Oh, I guess also the people who are pitting are also a lap ahead of me. So clearly that is why my position didn't change that much. I was like, wow, I see like 4 people pitting, but I only went up 1 place. Huh? Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, I think I've gotten in the groove for the most part, at least in that section. So hopefully we can keep that up. Okay, someone else is pitting now. Ripfish still doing their 8. I wonder when they're going to do their 9s. Because they have to do at least some 9s. I think. So it's really going to be actually how far ahead is that person in first right now. is, will they get to +2 laps by the end of the race? Because they got to +1 lap before the halfway mark, I figured, yeah, of course they will. But I don't know. I guess they are not doing. They are doing the other pit strat. So I think once I pit, that's when it might become +2. Speaking of pit, that is what I am nearing at the end of this lap now. And so Mitch and I are doing the same thing, because I think I saw him go in, but like we're on the same. He's just that far ahead. Okay. It's a bit of an awkward pit entry, but it'll do. It's just gonna be how much are we gonna get past now? Not much. 21st. So top 20, it's definitely possible. We are 5 seconds behind the 20th person at the moment, and that is not knowing who ahead of me still has to do kind of an extra pit. If everyone ahead of me only has to do one extra pit, one more pit now, then I can totally make up, 6 seconds here or there, I think. Or if someone else crashes, that's, a couple seconds here and there, so who knows? Who knows? But we'll go in next time at 42 for our last pit. We'll have to figure out how much fuel we want to get. Because it looks like, so the first person is +2 laps ahead, so I think we are for certain only doing 8 laps on our final stint. So we'll just have to see how much fuel we're using per lap and go from there. So let's take a look at the fuel that we finish with this lap and just kind of go from there, I guess. And try not to crash while I'm thinking and doing math, because that seems to be my weakness. Guys, don't drive distracted. Don't do math when you're driving. Excuse me. Okay, so 76.5-ish, let's just say. We'll just do 77, because it was about that point when I crossed the finish line. And we can coast also, so who cares? So 77. A few people pitted. So we're 19th. And they probably will have to do one pit, because I don't see them going, with 13 laps on one tank of gas. Fastest lap, nice time, nice time. That would explain why they're +2 laps ahead if they're setting times like that. Alright, 77. So that was about 8 or 9 liters. Let's say 9 liters. So 9 times 8, 72, yeah. So all we need is 72, so we'll just do like 75 or 80, just to really be certain. I guess we could average out the fuel use over multiple laps, just to get a clear indication. Yikes! I think it's the first time that I hit that chicane. I'm actually really impressed how I've not hit that chicane before, because it is a really tight squeeze. We do drop down to 20th, but hey, it's still 20th. And then we scrape another wall for good measure. Just because I really want to ruin my paint job. You know, that's the only reason. Okay, so that was 17 over 2 laps, which is just under 9. Let's just say 9. Let's just keep it at 9. 9 was a nice number. And that was with a crash, so worst case scenario, we crash every lap and we spent 9 liters of fuel. So yeah, we'll just do 75, I guess, when we fuel up. Alright, a few people pitting now. Ripfish still. I think that was their 9 that time at least. But we were provisionally 17th, which is a very nice place to be, if I do say so myself. Because I think everyone still has only one stop left to do. And I think the leader's currently doing it. But everyone else should follow after. So like if all else fails, like this is the spot we will be in for the finish. You know, minus crashes and, you know, slight pit strats, improvements and whatnot. This is why I'm doing math to figure out how much fuel we should get. Because that was what, 33? I don't even know how many laps though. 33 over 4 maybe? So yeah, let's just keep it at 9. 75, I think, is more than enough, but better safe than sorry. As I'm currently in a fight for this placement. As we move up to 16th. Oh, and we may move up to 15th soon. Because like I said, we're in a fight. Okay, next lap, we go in for our final pit. As I'm currently going back and forth between 16th and 17th place. Did I hit that wall? I don't know if my butt hit that wall. I don't think it did. I don't think it did. We got to 15th. Someone must have crashed hard. It's happening, guys! It's happening! Alright, maybe not. Maybe not anymore. Because I'm having really awkward turns on these tires. But not to worry. We're currently about to go into the pit and get rid of them. But I don't know if everyone else is going into the pit as well. So, you know, this fight that I'm currently in may not continue. Yeah, I think I'm the only one pitting right now. So hopefully those guys pit later. But from here on out, we will not drop in places. So yeah, 75. I forgot where I was going out. I just got lucky, I guess. So okay, so we should not drop any more places. Like we should not get below 21st now, which is fantastic. It's just going to come down to who in front of me is not pitted, who in front of me is going to hopefully make mistakes, who in front of me can I outpace, that sort of thing. Okay, because the people behind me for some reason are 50 plus seconds. So unless we, like, I don't even, yeah, like, we're just going to improve our place from here, hopefully. if people pit and if we've got the pace. If we can get back to that 15th place, I'll be very happy. I'll be very happy. For now, no changes. I feel like some people still have to pit. Because I pitted at 42, expecting to go 8 more laps. So unless they pitted like the lap before me or something, or like the 2 laps before me, like, I don't know. Okay, people behind me are pitting. Okay, someone in front of me is pitting, so that's at least a good sign that there still are, if people were doing that exact same pit strat, they are a lap ahead, to be fair. But if there's people who are mimicking that, yes, okay, someone's pitting on my lap. So we go to 20th. Good. Someone gives up, unfortunate. Is our time to the next person? 5 seconds. Oh, I'm 18th. When did that happen? I must have passed someone. I must have passed 2 people. Or the person who got out was one of those people. I don't know. I think it was. Unfortunately. It's no fun when you don't finish, as someone who hasn't finished before. Okay. So we are 5 seconds from the next place. 4 seconds now. 2 seconds now. I'm not even going to keep looking just because I want to focus on the race, but 1 second now. I looked. Peeked. Alright, now I'm no longer gaining. Yikes. That's not what I wanted to do. Yeah, it cost me like half a second or so. Alright, I don't think anyone's going to be pitting because we only really have 3 laps left, so I think everyone has pitted now at this point, definitely. Unless someone like really messed up their pit strat. But that's unlikely. So now it's just going to come down to raw pace, which I think I have. You know, the fastest lap time might not show it, but we are focusing and we're getting the potential drops right now. Someone. No, I got passed or something. Something happened. That was an awkward turn. Not a good turn. Oh boy, I'm awake now. I'm awake and focused at this moment for these last like 3 laps. Because yeah, the person first is still 2 laps ahead, so we will end at 50 most likely. Even 49. I don't know how far ahead they are, but probably not 49. But they are like miles ahead of everyone else, so they will definitely be going into a higher division next week. Alright, cheeky little lap time. Improvement. Alright, we are 1 second from Britfish. We are less than 1 second from Britfish now. I want your place. In fact, I want like 3 places ahead of me, but you know, I'll take what I can get. I slowed down for that just because I had an awkward entry. And we are on red tires, so I'm trying to push, but also trying not to crash, which is a very delicate balance. Unfortunately, Ripfish is still a second ahead as we enter what is probably our last lap now. We'll see the last lap time, or the final lap finish, come in probably, I don't know, 20 seconds or so. And Ripfish is like right in front of me. I might pass him on this checkpoint. Yep, there's that. I passed Ripfish. Okay, so now it's just, can we hold on to this? It looks like they crashed. So let's just take this safe. Because I am on red tires and I'm really feeling it. I'm really feeling it. But also they're 2 seconds behind me, so I can afford a little bit of a slowdown. They are catching up, but it's still a 1.5 buffer. It's still a 2.5 buffer. I think we're good. 17th. GG's. Oh my gosh. Whew. Ripfish was 0.7 behind me. GG's. Also, that was a huge victory. Because they were a lap ahead, basically. Mitch got 12th. Congrats. Good job. Okay, so who did 4 stops? Who did 5 stops? That's what I want to know. Okay. Top 4 did 4 stops. Deserved Dreamer did 6 stops. Don't know what that's about. People did do 5 stops and did still do well. 5th place and whatnot. I don't know. We get 35 points for that. I'm happy about that. It's a pretty decent ending. Someone got out at like the last race, or like the last lap. They got 11th, but they got out, so I actually got 0 points there. So, geez, I wonder what happened there. It's really unfortunate. But that was a good end. I'm very happy with that end. I think we went to like, we're at like 20th as we left like our final pit or something like that. And then we just picked off a few points here or there. So we started at what, 38th? And we went up to, I guess you can see the number. Yeah, that triangle 21 next to my name. I was 38th and went up 21 spots. So we had a really bad qualifying time, but we made up for it. And we were 4 seconds behind the next place. So, I mean, a qualifying change wouldn't have changed that 4 seconds, but like we had that one crash on the chicane near the end, like lap 40 or something. I don't know. But yeah, that was a good race. I'm happy with that. We'll have to wait a bit for the actual standings to update, but the way I still have the old standings pulled up. The way it was before is so my division is ranked 251 to 300. So you're in that range, that's Division 6. If you get points up to go to Division 5, or your place goes up to be Division 5, you move there next week and go down to 7, whatever. I was 270th. So with the what was it, 35 points I think I got? If they get 35 points, if someone didn't start Division 5, they lose a certain amount of points, and because of my points I got, it might be enough to get me to Division 5 next week, but probably unlikely. I'll probably end up being like 260th maybe, 255, who knows? But all in all, it was a pretty good race. So cool. It is too early for this. I am very tired. But okay, well, that is all for this week. Races will continue next Sunday at the same time, whatever time zone that is. You know, it's 8 a.m. Central American time, whatever that time zone is actually called, Central Standard Time. So that was week 2 of 10, so we'll be doing this for another 8 weeks, and we'll hopefully get more exciting races like that, because that was a good race. I'm very happy with that race. So go ahead, follow. You'll get notified when I go live in the future. And have a good rest of your day, everyone. I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.